This is the pitch for Ricochet by Aaron-Salisbury. So to start things off, let's look at the hook. What's going to get people into this game? Well, that's the fact that every bullet you fire has the chance to kill either you or your opponent. So let's break this broad idea down into a more digestible concept. Well, Ricochet is a two-player online versus game in which players face off against each other in a variety of small arenas, with the goal being to kill the other player 5 times in order to win. They do this with both the ricochet and reload mechanic unique to this game. The ricochet mechanic involves players firing shots, and the shots having the ability to ricochet off of the environment, possibly killing either themselves or their opponent. As for the reload mechanic, in order for players to reload in Ricochet, players must stand perfectly still for 2 full seconds. While they can move during this animation, it will cancel their reload, resulting in them having to start the process all over again. As for the game's theming, we are going with a style that will reminisce players of the good old classic arcade days. To do this, we are going with pixelated graphics and electronic music. So now that you've had a chance to listen to what this game's ideas are, let's actually look at how this is going to be implemented into the full project. To do this, I've got a few different diagrams that show a match between 2 players. In the first diagram, you can see the 2 players starting in a small arena. In the second image, you can see both players shooting, and in doing so, they turn white. This shows that they can no longer fire until they reload. You can also notice that both bullets are white. This is to show that both players can be hit by the bullets. In the third image, you can see the first bullet ricocheting off the middle pillar. You can also see the blue player is now regaining its color. This is to show the reload animation. In the fourth image, you can see the blue player had to cancel their reload animation to avoid the bullet ricocheting towards them. You can also see the red player is now commencing their reload animation. In the fifth image, you can see the red player has completed their reload animation, and the blue player is once again trying to reload. In the sixth image, you can see the blue player has finished their reload, and the red player has fired at them. In the seventh image, you can see the blue player dodges the red player's bullet, and the red player backs up, avoiding a stray bullet. In the eighth and final image, you can see the blue player has been hit in the back by the ricocheting bullet. The red player is victorious. However, in order to claim true victory, the red player will have to do this 4 more times. Now that you've seen a match of Ricochet, it's time to talk about the risks involved in making this project. Luckily for Ricochet, one of the main concepts behind its creation has always been minimizing risk. We did this because with only 4 months in development time, we have to strive to make sure our project is completed on time. However, this does not mean we do not have any risks. The major one is making online play functional. This can be quite difficult. However, due to our adaptable design, we can overcome it if it's not possible for our team to complete. We can simply eliminate online play and stick to a local mode only. However, if our team finishes ahead of schedule, we can even add more arenas, more weapons, and possibly even an AI mode to make the game that much better. So now that we have all the great things about Ricochet over, let's talk about the similar games. The first off is Gunfight, a classic arcade game which players can ricochet up to 6 shots off the top and bottom of the screen in order to hit their opponent. And next we have Hotline Miami, a thematic comparison in which players have high action-paced combat, but underlined with deep strategic gameplay. Finally, here are the references for my project. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you support Ricochet in the future.